Add one more body to the body toe. May God rest this poor bastard's soul. And it's like, alright, we've never heard Ninja be a poet, but you know, it's comic relief. It's kind of cute. It speaks to the character that Ninja is. He is the voice. He hasn't lifted a finger to help Afro at all in a fight, but sometimes he'll get in his ears and just be like, "You gotta fight him this way," or "Don't even fight him at all." Like the whole time he's fighting this robot. He's like, "You can't beat this robot," but he ends up beating him anyway. So new episode. They run into Kuma, who is this warrior who wears a giant teddy bear. And this dude seems to know so much about Afro, so much about him personally. And then we get another flashback. Now Afro is like late teenage, early adult years, and he finds out, and there's this attack on the dojo. And early in the episode, or early in this flashback, you got the sword master is basically, he's doing a ceremony to let these guys know you are officially trained, you are now warriors, do whatever you must to go on your journeys. You know, so he gives Gino an official certification on his weapons. Gino fights with 2 swords. I think I mentioned that before. Gino, he's super proud. You know, he's been waiting he's the leader of all these kids. He's super proud. He's been waiting for this. He gives Afro his sword. He's like, "Here, you're certified. You're ready to go kill people." And then the other kids as well. I believe one's name is Sasuke or something like that. But yeah, so he's letting all the kids in that generation. I think the only one that we've seen that isn't in the ceremony is Otsuru, because she's still quite young. And all of a sudden there's this attack, and the sword master's like, "Listen, you know, we gotta fight these dudes off." They battle. During the battle, Afro gets himself into some trouble, and Gino comes and saves him. And Gino says, "We're gonna talk about this after I'm done saving your ass." And they go into this fight, and Afro and Gino together are kicking ass. Like, you can see there's chemistry between the two of them. They're basically like brothers. They're basically best friends. Being that Gino's kind of the leader of the group, Afro is very much like the best fighter. But the two of them, like, they're together and they're just whooping ass. Time out. I think I see a bug on my window. Are you inside or outside? Okay, you an outside bug. You stay outside. Anyway, so like, just chemistry between the two of them. They enjoy being together and kicking ass together. And they win the fight, and Afro goes and talks to the sword master. One of these guys ends up telling Afro, like, "I believe the sword master has that number 2 headband." And Afro, as a kid, has been looking for it. Now, as an adult, we know that he already has a number 2 headband. And we know that the story is that you gotta kill the owner of the number 2 headband in order to get it. So then it's like, okay. And Gino kind of looks at Afro, he's like, "No, you can't fight the sword master. Like, you just can't." They get back, and there's this attack. And sword master's fighting off several guys. Afro and Gino and all these kids, they get involved, and they're just whooping all their ass. They're just fighting everybody. Afro tells the sword master, like, "Yo, you got the number 2 headband. I'm gonna need it. Like, I need that." And the sword master's like, "You don't want this. You're gonna have to fight the rest of your life forever. All this does is bring death and destruction. You know, the only reason I'm holding on to it is because I'm trying to keep people safe." But Afro's like, "I'm sorry, man. Like, I gotta get revenge for my dad, and the only way to do that is to have that headband. I'm taking it from you." Gino gets involved. He says, "I'm not gonna let you fight the sword master." The sword master's like, "Listen, this is a one-on-one thing. Let me and Afro fight this one out." They get into a fight. You know, sword master. This is the first time we really see sword master do his thing, and he is far superior. But somehow, Afro gets in a couple good licks, and he kills him. Gino goes crazy, and he's like, "You just killed the sword master, like the dude that protected you. We're a family now. We are a family. We saved you for no reason, and now you just killed this man." And Afro's like, "I had to do this for my real family, like for my real family." And Gino starts listing off all the kids. What about Otsuru? What about Sasuke? What about this guy? What about this guy? What about this guy? Like, we're all putting our necks out for you, and you killed our master. And Gino ends up, I don't know if he attacks Afro and falls, or if he's just so crazy that he jumps on his own, but he ends up falling off of a cliff and hurt and beating himself up pretty badly. This is where Ninja finds Afro and says, "Damn, dude, you just lost your whole crew." Like during his whole childhood, Ninja's not around, but right after this scene, Ninja, he's like, "You don't got anybody, man, but I'm gonna roll with you." And he says something like, "I'm gonna be your road dog," and you get the idea that from now on, Afro and Ninja have been traveling together. So we skip a little bit, and there's some scientist guy. I don't really know who he is or what his purpose is, but he finds Gino, and he decides, you know what, this guy's a pretty good warrior. He's beat up because he just fell off this cliff, so he's hurt, he's destroyed, and he basically gives him the Darth Vader treatment. He's like, I'm gonna make this dude half man, half robot, and I'm gonna send him out to go fight Afro so he can get me the #2 headband. And so they give Gino this treatment, and years of training and getting treated and getting surgically enhanced to be a droid person. I forget, there's a name for them. I forget what the name is. But basically, he is half human, half robot. And it turns out that to cover up how ugly his face is, he puts on a giant teddy bear. So fast forward now, it's current day. This guy's name is now Kuma. Kuma who was Gino, and Kuma's saying, "Hey, I haven't forgot about you. I haven't forgot the fact that you killed our sword master. You killed it. You destroyed our family." And then they show him on the inside, and he is tore up, and he's got like one long streaking tear coming from one eye, and he's like, "Ever since that day, I never quit crying. I'm still to this day. I'm still crying this one tear because of what you did." And they go into this emotional battle, and they're fighting, and it's fucking emotional because you just watch these dudes be brothers. You just watch these dudes fight together, and throughout the entire series, Gino is always sticking up for Afro, trying to teach Afro a lesson. Be like, "Yo, I'm the older brother here. This is the kid that saved Afro in the beginning." And it's so emotional to see these dudes fight each other, because at the end of the day, Afro doesn't want to kill none of these people. You know, he loves the master. He loves Gino like a brother. But his whole journey is about revenge. And man, it's so sad. It's so sad. It ends with Gino killing Ninja. Episode ends. Last episode begins, and Ninja is dying, and he's like, "Listen, you're on your own now. You know what you gotta do." And as he starts to speak, his voice becomes darker and deeper, and I didn't realize it at first, and I'll speak on it a little bit more. I never did end up shaking my thing. There was this flashback before the attack, last episode. Where's my pen at? I said I was going to wiggle it. I don't know what I did with it. I put it down to eat some sandwich. Here it is. I'm doing it now. Otsuru, they're at a party of some sort before the attack. And Otsuru, they're talking about what they like for their last meal. And basically all these kids are saying, if I get to choose one thing to eat before I passed away, what would it be? And all these kids are kind of taking turns making fun of it. Otsuru says, I bet you Afro would like some of that lemonade. And he explains to her, like, it's not called lemonade, it's called lemonade. And it's not really a meal, but yeah, that's probably what I would enjoy. And Otsuru points up at fireworks and says, I want those on my last day. And it's really foreshadowing an event that happens chronologically in the future, but in the show it happened 2 episodes ago, because on her last night she got fireworks, the next morning she dies. Which I think is just a cute moment. I think I haven't watched the show in a while. It's been a couple years, but I think I had to watch it 3 or 4 times before I caught on that she mentions that she wants to watch the fireworks on her last day, and her very last night of living, she sees those fireworks. And I really wanted to mention that, but I forgot. Anyway, so I've watched all the bonus content on these DVDs, and that's kind of why I understand like where the writers were at. I did not know watching the series that Afro was actually voiced, adult Afro was voiced by also Samuel L. Jackson. I didn't know that. You don't hear him talk a whole lot, and he talks in a very different voice than what you would hear Samuel L. Jackson speaking. And it's really tough to tell. But anyway, so Ninja dies, and as he's dying, he's given this speech, and he starts to sound less like Ninja and more like Afro Samurai. And the creators of the show wanted people to believe that because Afro was on this lonely journey after he killed his family, Ninja's just been a part of his imagination. That's why he's not involved in the fights. That's why he's always given him either good or bad advice. He's just an imaginary character formed in Afro Samurai's brain because he's alone. He's been alone for a very long time. And after he killed his sword master, who was basically like his surrogate father, his adopted father, all of a sudden his brother kills himself, and this imaginary character forms in his head immediately. But then it's like, does Gino really kill him? There's this whole theory. I don't know. I do believe that Ninja was an imagination that was formed into a physical life that Gino did kill. That way, there's a little bit, it's personal because Afro killed Master, Gino killed Ninja. Now, they both got reason to go at each other. And they do. They go at each other. The fight scene is epic. It ends up, of course, Afro Samurai winning. He continues on his journey. And it doesn't continue on for very long before he runs into justice.